It's Thursday, September 27th. Welcome to Pastor Bob Daily. Harold on Facebook says, what are your feelings on churches and cliques? Is it good to stay at a church that has cliques even though you're getting your soul fed? What would happen to a church that doesn't recognize that cliques are present? Now let me explain this word cliques for you first, because we have an international audience and this is kind of a sketchy word. Cliques is a word that we use for people who are gathered into small groups. For instance, when you're in school, you know, the people into music stay in one group. The people into sports kind of are in another group. The people that are into computers stay in another group. And we call all of those cliques. Those are groups. People that kind of feel good about each other and stay in a smaller group. And what happens when that particular thing happens in a church? What happens when cliques are part of a church? Well, Harold, I like cliques in the church. And I always feel like one of the aspects of a healthy church is cliques. Let me explain. One of the most important things in your life and mine is that we have people around us who understand us, who we feel like we can relate to and talk to, people who can speak into our lives, whether it's encouragement or maybe a little bit of correction from time to time, but people that we dare to get close enough to that can make a big difference. Now, when that happens, it usually happens with people you feel comfortable with. And so a church that's healthy usually begins to establish a lot of little cliques. And you know what? Honestly, many times a church that isn't so healthy doesn't have very many cliques. I think the greatest thing that can happen is when you find people who can speak into your life and you can speak into theirs. People you feel great about being around. People that you feel like they're your spiritual family. And people that really begin to help you in your faith. You know, like the Bible says, spurring you on towards love and good deeds. You know, that's a great thing when it happens. But it usually only happens in the form of what looks like cliques. Not necessarily a bad thing. But here's the deal. It can be a bad thing if you have people that are left out of all of the cliques. Now, let me tell you, different churches have different kinds of cliques, honestly. And I've been to churches where I felt very alienated because there wasn't anybody there like me. And I've been to churches that I felt like, gosh, there are people here just like I am. There's a clique for me in this church. And if you're in a church where you can't find anybody who's kind of like you and you can begin to click with, then possibly look for one that does. Now, I know some of you are going to disagree with what I'm saying. But, you know, I found in my life one of the greatest joys has been people that I click with. People that are like-minded, people that can become very close to me, and people that I feel really comfortable with. And I think that's really important. You see, a church isn't just about what's being taught. A church is about interaction. It's about growing, and it's about family. And, you know, it is important to be part of a larger collective. In other words, you know, we need all of the spiritual gifts in our life, and that is really important. But it's not always exactly where we live. You know, sometimes the most important thing is to be able to talk to somebody and really bare your soul to them. And you don't do that with just everybody. You do that with people you feel very comfortable with. Usually a smaller group or one or two people. So this whole idea of cliques, folks, and getting rid of cliques is basically detrimental to a church. Because a healthy church, once again, fosters communication between the people. And that's really what we want to see happen. So I hope you're involved with the clique. And if you can't find a group in your church that is like you, that you can relate to, that you can feel like family on a smaller level, then it might be a good idea to find one that does. They're out there. There are a lot of churches around. One that you'll probably feel a little more comfortable in. Just a thought. God bless you. Have a great day.